The moment that photograph appeared online, royal watchers froze. At first glance, it looked like just another polished anniversary upload. Soft lighting, expensive tailoring, smiling faces, the usual carefully selected memories from Harry and Meghan's wedding day. But then people noticed what was happening in the background, and suddenly the entire internet was talking about one image. Standing in the corridor was Prince Harry, visibly tense, speaking sharply to the royal Nanny Maria Teresa Turin-Barolo while young Princess Charlotte appeared to shrink behind her. The little girl looked uncomfortable, almost frightened, clutching close to the woman trusted for years to protect William and Catherine's children. It didn't feel like a sweet behind-the-scenes wedding moment. It felt like a private argument accidentally exposed to the world. Within hours, social media erupted with theories. Why would Meghan post a photograph showing such an awkward exchange? Why include a picture where the atmosphere looked so cold and tense? And why did the children appear desperate to stay out of Harry's way? Royal commentators immediately linked the image to long-standing whispers surrounding the bridesmaid-fitting drama before the wedding. The incident palace insiders have quietly discussed for years. Reports claim Princess Charlotte had been left in tears after tensions exploded behind closed doors, while Catherine herself allegedly walked away deeply upset. For years, those stories remained hidden beneath official statements and carefully managed interviews. But this single photograph brought everything rushing back. People began zooming in on every expression, every glance, every detail. Maria didn't look intimidated. She looked protective. Harry looked frustrated. And Charlotte looked like a child caught in the middle of something she should never have witnessed. What was supposed to celebrate a wedding anniversary instead reopened one of the ugliest royal controversies of the decade. And the timing couldn't have been worse. Just days before the post, Meghan's appearance in Geneva had reportedly turned into a public embarrassment after footage showed tiny crowds and distracted attendees during her speech. Videos spread online showing empty spaces, people checking phones, even one woman rummaging through her bag while Meghan spoke on stage. Critics mocked the event relentlessly, calling it another failed attempt to rebuild her image as a serious global figure. Then, almost immediately afterwards, came the flood of wedding photographs, emotional captions, and nostalgic anniversary tributes across social media. To many viewers, it felt less like a heartfelt celebration and more like an attempt to bury negative headlines beneath royal glamour. But instead of fixing the situation, the anniversary post created an even bigger disaster. Because hidden amongst the glossy wedding memories was that corridor photograph, the one nobody had ever seen before. The one that looked less like a happy wedding and more like a family already falling apart behind the scenes. What made everything even stranger was the silence from the people who once rushed to support Meghan publicly. 8 years ago, her wedding was packed with Hollywood royalty, celebrities flying across the world to stand beside her inside Windsor Castle. Oprah Winfrey, George Clooney, Serena Williams, Idris Elba, James Corden. The guest list looked like an award ceremony. Yet this anniversary passed with barely a whisper from any of them. No emotional Instagram tributes. No glamorous throwback photos. No public messages celebrating the couple. Nothing. And people noticed. Online commentators began asking uncomfortable questions about why so many once close celebrity friendships now appear completely distant. Even the heavily publicized anniversary card supposedly signed by an entire British Airways crew quickly became another source of ridicule after viewers spotted suspicious signatures and details that made the whole thing look staged. Instead of appearing adored by the public, Meghan suddenly looked increasingly isolated, relying on curated social media moments while former allies quietly disappeared into the background. Royal experts have also pointed out how chaotic the Sussex image has become in recent months. One moment Meghan is presenting herself as a serious humanitarian speaking at international organizations. The next she's posting lifestyle content, candles, kitchen videos, and heavily filtered family nostalgia. Critics say the constant reinvention has left audiences confused about who she actually wants to be. And every failed launch only adds to the growing perception that the couple's empire is struggling badly behind closed doors. Even their California mansion has become part of the mockery, with online users pointing out outdated interiors and questioning why so little appears to have changed despite years of multi-million-pound deals with Netflix and Spotify. The glamorous image once sold to the world is beginning to crack, and badly. More concerning still are the growing rumors surrounding Harry himself. Some commentators now believe Meghan is subtly positioning him as unstable in the eyes of the public, using awkward appearances and carefully selected moments to shape a very specific narrative. Whether that's true or not, the corridor photograph only intensified those theories. Because to many people, it looked like a snapshot of tension, anger, and discomfort frozen in time. Not romance, not love, not happiness, and certainly not the fairy tale wedding story the world was originally sold. Meanwhile, Prince William and Catherine appear to be emerging stronger than ever. Public sympathy toward the Wales family has grown massively over the past year, especially as Catherine slowly returns to royal duties while protecting her children from relentless media attention. Supporters say the contrast between the two royal households is becoming impossible to ignore. On one side, carefully staged social media campaigns, constant controversy, and endless reinventions. On the other, a family trying desperately to maintain privacy and stability despite enormous public pressure. That's why the reaction to the nanny photograph became so emotional online. People weren't just analyzing royal gossip anymore. They were reacting to the sight of children looking visibly uneasy during what should have been one of the happiest days of their lives. And at the center of it all stood Maria Teresa Turin Barallo, calm and protective, shielding Charlotte and George from whatever tension was unfolding around them. Viewers praised her instantly, calling her the only adult in the photograph who seemed fully focused on the children's well-being. Some even described the image as symbolic, a quiet reminder that while royal titles and celebrity fame come and go, loyalty and protection matter far more. The tragedy for Meghan is that this photograph may have accidentally exposed exactly the opposite of what she intended. Instead of showing warmth and nostalgia, it highlighted distance, discomfort, and unresolved bitterness still hanging over the royal family all these years later. And once the public begins seeing those cracks, it becomes nearly impossible to hide them again. Because the truth is, people can forgive mistakes, awkward interviews, and failed business ventures. But they struggle to ignore moments that involve children looking distressed. That's why this image spread so quickly. That's why the reaction became so fierce. And that's why this anniversary post may end up remembered not as a celebration of love, but as a moment the carefully crafted royal fairy tale finally collapsed in front of everyone watching. If you want more royal stories the headlines won't tell you, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay with us for the next explosive update.